The First Lady of Dubai tortured Princess Latifa. Here is why. What if I told you that the First Lady of Dubai played a key role in torturing Princess Latifa? Beneath the lavish lifestyle of Dubai's royal family lies a horrifying story of control, betrayal, and cruelty. Princess Latifa's desperate attempts to escape were met with brutal punishment. Torture ordered by her own father and carried out with the help of Sheikha Hind, the First Lady herself. Latifa's sister, Shamsa, also tried to flee, only to be dragged back and imprisoned in silence for years. So why would someone so powerful target her own stepdaughters, and how far will the palace go to keep this hidden? Stay with us. What we uncover might change everything you think you know about Dubai's royal family. Let's talk about Sheikha Latifa bint Mohammed Al Maktoum, a princess with a heartbreaking story that shocked the world. Born on December 5, 1985, Latifa is part of Dubai's royal family. Her father is Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the powerful Prime Minister of the UAE. But not many people know that her mother is an Algerian woman named Huriya Ahmed Al-Ma'ash. Huriya keeps a low profile, so low in fact that there are barely any photos of her out there. They had 5 children together, but Latifa's early years weren't spent under her parents' roof. She and her brother, Sheikh Majid, were raised by their paternal aunt instead. Latifa wasn't the only girl in her family to find her caged existence unbearable. In 2000, at the age of 18, her older sister, Shamsa, ran away. The family was visiting their multi-million-dollar estate in the British countryside when Shamsa jumped into one of her family's black Range Rovers, drove to an open gate, and ran. Shamsa had confided in letters to her cousin that she felt trapped. An avid equestrian with a love for travel, she dreamed of going to college, but her father, Sheikh Mohammed, refused to allow it. After years of suppression, Shamsa couldn't take it anymore. She was free, at least for a while. For 2 months, she stayed on the run, moving through the streets of Cambridge. But freedom didn't last. In a chilling account, Latifa explained what happened next. She was on the street and a bunch of guys in a car just drove up. They grabbed her. Sheikh Mohammed's guards had tracked her down, drugged her, and forced her onto a private jet back to Dubai. Once there, she was locked away in one of the family's palaces, and she hasn't been seen in public since. According to Latifa, her sister has spent the last 19 years under medicated house arrest, hidden from the world. The Cambridge police launched an investigation, but it hit a dead end when they weren't allowed to interview Shamsa. Justice, it seemed, was out of reach. Deeply traumatized by the fate of her big sister, Latifa began to have her own difficulties at around the same time. In 2002, at the age of 16, she staged her first escape attempt in a bid to get help. But like her sister, Latifa's bid for freedom ended in heartbreak. Border authorities captured her near the Emirati-Omani border, and what followed was horrifying. She spent the next 3 years and 4 months in jail, alone in solitary confinement. In a chilling video she recorded years later, Latifa described being beaten and tortured. It was constant, she said, both the physical abuse and the mental anguish. Then came 2018, when she decided to risk it all once again. Along with her friend Tina Yohiainen, she used an inflatable boat and jet skis to reach a US-flagged yacht waiting in international waters. The plan was ambitious. Freedom was within their reach. But just 8 days later, the unthinkable happened. Indian commandos stormed the yacht with smoke grenades, forcing everyone out of hiding. Latifa was captured at gunpoint and dragged back to Dubai. After that, she disappeared. For weeks, the world didn't know if she was dead or alive. Tina and the crew were released after 2 weeks of detention, but Latifa, she was nowhere to be found. The Indian government never even acknowledged their involvement. What makes the story even more haunting is the video Latifa had pre-recorded before the escape attempt, just in case something went wrong. In it, she said, "If you are watching this video, it's not such a good thing. Either I'm dead or I'm in a very, very, very bad situation. That message sent shockwaves across the globe, sparking international outrage and urgent calls for her release. What makes the story even darker is the shocking new evidence provided by a palace whistleblower. This insider delivered a sworn statement to the International Criminal Court, naming a female police officer as one of Princess Latifa's main torturers. Radha Sterling, the CEO of Due Process International and detained in Dubai, was the first to bring Latifa's testimony video to the public back in 2018. Latifa revealed that she had been drugged, locked away in a cell for years, and tortured on her father's direct orders. For 7 long years, Latifa confided in Captain Hervé Joubert, the man she entrusted with her escape plan. Joubert's book, A Private Family Matter, dives into the horrifying details of what she endured. He recounts Latifa's chilling interactions with one of her torturers, Warda, a brutal enforcer of her father's orders. The scene Joubert describes is hard to believe, but impossible to forget. Warda screamed at Latifa, ordering her to strip while threatening her with merciless violence. "Your father told us to beat you until we kill you. That's my order," she snarled. Latifa's testimony confirms the worst. She was beaten relentlessly, held down as her tormentors struck her until she drifted in and out of consciousness. Each moment was pure agony. She lay there broken in unimaginable pain with no hope of escape. Joubert's account doesn't end there, and the next part is chilling. Warda's words to Latifa were meant to crush her spirit. "You know we are going to break you. We have all the time in the world." Latifa begged her to stop, but Warda pressed on, determined to extract every bit of information about anyone who might have helped her escape. The interrogation turned physical. Warda even pinched her skin, trying to provoke a response. And that's when Latifa snapped. In a desperate act of defiance, Latifa lunged at Warda, locking her arm around the officer's neck and going straight for her eyes. It was a fierce struggle for survival, but it didn't last long. 2 male guards rushed in, wrestled Latifa down, and restrained her. They left her in restraints for 3 agonizing days. No food, no water, just raw pain and humiliation. The palace whistleblower, someone who had spent decades among the Dubai royals, revealed even more disturbing details. Warda was actually answerable to Sheikh Mohammed's first wife, Sheikha Hind bint Maktoum bin Juma al Maktoum, and that Sheikha Hind has been responsible for deliberately ordering the mistreatment and abuse of rival children of Sheikh Mohammed's. She tortured them all: Shamsa, Latifa, Mariam. Any torture that took place in the notorious tent? It was her doing, he disclosed. Sheikha Hind's insecurity and obsession with control fueled the relentless mistreatment of anyone she saw as competition. But who exactly is Warda Jabert al-Ketbi, the very woman now named in an international criminal court submission for crimes against humanity doesn't see herself as a monster? In fact, an Emirati news outlet paints a vastly different picture of Warda. The article describes her as a lucky girl, someone driven by love for her family and husband, a symbol of Emirati women's strength, confidence, and self-affirmation. Then we have Radha Sterling. She has spent the last 15 years fighting for women's rights in the UAE, witnessing firsthand the brutal realities many women endure. She's seen rape victims thrown into jail, accused of having sex outside of marriage. She's encountered women trapped under oppressive male guardianship, victims of domestic violence, and others crushed by a justice system that is anything but just. So, when she learned that one of Princess Latifa's main torturers was a woman, Sterling wasn't exactly shocked, but she was disgusted. "What's even more disturbing," Sterling said, "is how Warda al-Ketbi promotes herself in the local media as some kind of morally motivated role model, almost an icon for Emirati women. Could she possibly be the least inspirational woman in the UAE, right along with her female co-conspirators?" Meanwhile, the UAE government continues to promote itself as a champion of women's rights, claiming that gender equality is of paramount importance. The Global Summit of Women, held in Dubai in May 2023, was their latest attempt to push this narrative to the world. But Sterling wasn't buying it. She called the event a blatant misrepresentation designed to mask the harsh truth behind a polished image. Not much is known about Princess Latifa's situation today, but Rada Sterling says intelligence sources close to Dubai's royal court have confirmed one thing: Latifa is alive. However, Sterling explains, the palace is pushing the narrative that both Latifa and Shamsa are suffering from mental health problems and are receiving the care they need from qualified doctors. What's unsettling is that in her video, Latifa predicted this exact disinformation would occur. Sterling explains that both Latifa and Shamsa are suffering from mental health issues and are receiving care from qualified doctors. Latifa is trying to get on with her life the best she can, but she's completely isolated. No internet, no phones. Every second of her life is under constant surveillance. It's a haunting existence, being alive but far from free. And honestly, it can only get worse as long as the First Lady of Dubai is alive. But with so many secrets still buried, we're left wondering, how many others have tried to escape, only to be silenced forever? Do you think the world will ever hold them accountable, or will these stories fade into silence? Comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating videos like this one.